Like, what's going on out there? Hey, we are starting off chilly. We are down to the 30s and 40s this morning. It is a very chilly start to the day, so I want you to grab the jacket, grab the coat. Now, even though we're in the 30s and 40s, I'm still expecting temperatures to build this afternoon to 60, but 60 degrees, partly cloudy skies, comfortably cool. I still think you'll need the long sleeve later today, even though it's going to be dry and we're going to see lots of sunshine. If you plan to spend any time outside, really what you need to know today, that pollen count, especially your tree pollen, shot up yesterday. So the latest survey still indicates that. So keep that in mind throughout the rest of the day. Otherwise, it's looking mostly calm. Now, dry today, mostly dry tomorrow. Your hour by hour forecast coming up next up.
All right, Cheetah, thanks. A friend of mine has a daughter named Katie, and when she gets in trouble, she says, Katie, Katie, Katie. And that's what I'm using today, the Katie Freeway. It's all about Katie. Let's zoom in and talk about what's going on here. Now, it's not accident related, but we do have a couple of stalls, and they are sitting in lanes. So when it's dark out, maybe the hazards aren't on, it could cause a crash. Hopefully that will not be the case, but this is the busy side of Morning Rush. So right there at Kirkwood Drive, so that's going to be between your Highway 6 and the Beltway. Take a look there. And this one, we're still waiting on some help at Houston Avenue, westbound side, closer to Memorial Park. Russ and Lisa.
Steph, thank you.
It is 2 minutes after. Janelle Ford is continuing our rush block this morning with some breaking news. A man stabbed 2 people, including his boss, and one of the victims has died.
This is in Waller County. Janelle, live for us there this morning. That killer is on the run right now.
Yeah, Russ and Lisa, deputies have been looking for this man since about 8 o'clock last night when that attack happened. The Waller County Sheriff's Department, they have not released an ID on him, but they say that they don't believe that he's a threat to the public. They say that the initial indications of their investigation is that this was a targeted attack on that suspect's boss. Now, it happened here at Orzon Industries. This is a steel company based in the Houston area. We spoke with the Waller County Sheriff early this morning. He confirmed that one of those victims is dead and the second had to be life-flighted to the hospital. Now, he says this is a case of workplace violence. He says those 2 victims were stabbed by their coworker. He didn't say what happened before the attack or the motive behind it, but we do know that that boss was one of the 2 stabbed, but it's unclear if the boss is the one who died. Now, we're waiting for more information on who the exact victims are. You can tell things are relatively quiet here this morning. There's been a steady stream of employees going into this parking lot and parking, presumably showing up for work. So we'll continue to update you guys on what happens with this suspect and whether or not police find him. Sending it back to you guys in the studio.
Janelle, thank you very much for that update.
In just a few hours today, President Trump will arrive in Texas to pitch for his border wall. This morning, we want your take. Do you agree with the president that there is a crisis right now at our southern border?
You can vote right now with your phone. And while you do, Michelle Choi joins us from the newsroom to tell us about the president's travel plans. Michelle?
Guys, President Trump will be landing in McAllen at the Texas southern border. He's hoping to make some major progress when it comes to his border wall. This as we head into day 20 of the partial government shutdown, and there still seems to be no end in sight. President Trump's visit comes after he stormed out of a meeting yesterday with congressional leaders. He called that meeting a total waste of time. Negotiations ended abruptly when both sides refused to budge over the president's demand for $5.7 billion for border wall funding, making no progress in ending this standoff. Now, the president has said he's even considering declaring a national emergency to get funding for his wall. He also claims he's getting plenty of support from the 800,000 federal workers not getting paid right now because of all of this. And later today, President Trump will take his pitch to the Texas border. We're told he'll also be joined by Senators Ted Cruz and John Cornyn. Guys.
All right, Michelle Choi, thank you very much. We have breaking news into our rush block this morning. A Louisiana police officer has died, reportedly shot on her way to work. This happened last night in Shreveport. We don't have a lot of information yet about exactly what happened, but we do know the officer was found outside of a home. She had been shot several times. Police are now questioning someone, but they say they have made no arrests.
Your rush block continues with the day's other big stories, starting with the court appearance for the man charged with the murder of Jasmine Barnes. The man accused of murdering 7-year-old Jasmine Barnes faces a judge this morning. Larry Woodruff is charged with capital murder in the shooting. Police say the other suspect, Eric Black Jr., claims he was the driver and Woodruff pulled the trigger.
One day after Jasmine Barnes' funeral, Governor Abbott is calling out the city of Houston for having too many gangs. Now the mayor and police chief are responding. They say they welcome the governor's attention, but are hoping he also sends more money to help the city fight violent crime.
Contacts with Russia. Federal prosecutors have accused the president's former campaign chief of sharing election information with a Russian operative. President Trump continues to deny there was any coordination between his campaign and Russia.
The family of a Crosby High School football player hoping state lawmakers pass Cody's Law this time around. The bill first introduced in 2015. Cody Stevens died from sudden cardiac arrest at 18. The family says an EKG, an ultrasound of the heart, would have picked up on his condition. They want the test required for all student athletes in the state as part of their physicals. Although rare, experts say it's the leading cause of death for student athletes.
Step back.
42 points from James Harden, not enough. The Rockets fell to the Milwaukee Bucks last night, 116-109 at Toyota Center. They'll get a chance to rebound tomorrow night at home against the Cavs. Tip-off is at 7 o'clock.
And that is your Rush Block. Let us know what's happening in your world. Just tweet us using the hashtag HTownRush.